Uh, Good day, YouTubers. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to do a completing of a square, grade 11. We will start by taking the relevant questions that lead us to complete a square. For instance, we are completing a square here. Completing a square, we are given number 1. Example 1 is x squared minus 4x. They want us to complete the square such that we are going to get it in a form of a into x plus, it's a is equals to x plus, in which form? In this form, a is equals to x plus t all squared plus q. We need to complete the square in this expression in this form. Right, when you complete the square, you are going to get that expression, that equation, and you are going to get x equals to minus b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. We are going to do this in the next video, but we're starting here to practice how to complete a square by given an expression. Now we start saying it's x squared minus 4x plus 4 multiplied by half all squared minus 4 multiplied by half all squared. Let me erase this part. Right? It's squared here, it's half here. Right, let me explain something here. If you are completing a square, you take the coefficient of x, you multiply it by half. Our coefficient of x in this case is 4. You take the coefficient of x, you multiply it by half, then you square everything inside the bracket. So I did minus 4 times half all squared. This is the same as I did nothing. When you say 1 minus 1 is equals to 0, it means I did nothing here. I still have x squared minus 4x. That's what I was trying to explain. So do not lose the concept here, because you're going to lose the momentum. The concept here is you take the coefficient of x, you multiply it by half, then you square it. You have completed the square. You take the coefficient of x, you multiply it by half, you square everything inside the bracket. That is the completing of a square. Now the next step is x squared minus 4x plus 4 divided by 2, which is 4 times half, is the same as 4 divided by 2. You get a what? A 2. 2 squared minus 2 squared. It's x plus 2 all squared. I have factorized here, minus 4, which is x plus 2 all squared minus 4. This is in the form of a, which is x plus p all squared plus q. This is the form of a x plus p squared plus q. If you can check here, our a here is 1. Then x plus 2 is x plus p. You square, minus 4 is this q. So every time when completing a square, let us grab another example so that we will see what does, we will practicing to complete a square today. Let's see another one. Let me write this so that we can all follow. It's the form of a into x plus p all squared plus q, right? Right, good. We take the other one. Example 2 says x squared plus 5x. We're completing a square. We're going to say it's x squared plus 5x plus. Now we're completing a square. You take the coefficient of x. Here is the coefficient of x. You multiply it by half. Then you square it. Minus. Why do I say minus? Because I don't want this factor to be affecting our equation, our expression. Our expression must remain the same. So it's 5 multiplied by half all squared. Right? It's x squared plus 5x plus 5 over 2 squared minus 5 over 2 squared. Right? This helps us to do what? To get a factors. We are going to have a factor whereby you have x plus 5 over 2 all squared. You are not working hard here. Minus 5 squared is 25. 2 squared is 4. This is your completing, you have completed a square. Your a here is 1. Here, x plus q, x plus p is x plus 5 over 2. You square that plus q. This is our q part. This is very simple. Now, what happens if you are given the trinomial? Because this is a binomial. If you are given a trinomial, how do you treat it? How do you do it? Let's go for it. That will be our example 3. The third example. What if you are given a trinomial? Let's see the trinomial. It goes like 2x squared minus 8x plus 6. Remember the previous 2 examples, we were having a binomial, we did not have the third term. Now we have the third term, which is a trinomial. How do we do it? To become what? To become this form of the quadratic formula. Right? If it is like this, you cannot complete a square if the x squared part has got a coefficient. We remove this coefficient by dividing by 2 everywhere. You are having x squared minus 4x plus 3. Now we can complete your square, which is going to be x squared minus 4x. You stop. Remember the golden rule. The rule of the thumb is you take the coefficient of x, you multiply it by half, you square that. Here is our coefficient of x. We multiply it by half, we square it. Minus, check the coefficient of x, you multiply it by half, you square it. Plus 3. Now, if you can check this part here is going to form the Q part. This is going to form that part. Nothing different like the binomial that we used to do. The trinomial is just adding the other term, right? Which is equals to x squared minus 4x plus 4 multiplied by half is 2. 2 squared minus 2 squared plus 3. Now this here is our this is where we are going to factorize. This is our factorization. Then we leave that part. That part is going to be part of a cube. So you say x plus 2 all squared minus 4 plus 3, which is x squared plus 2 squared minus 1. This is in that form. Nothing difficult here, grade 11. Just grab any problem and complete a square your own self. Then you are going to tell me that this is simple. You will come back to me to say this is simple. While you are doing this, we are going to solve so many complex problems. Problems which needs us to have where we have 2 equations. We will be given 2 equations to solve, and then we will be using the quadratic formula which we are going to prove. The quadratic formula is going to come up from ax squared plus bx plus c. Now go home and do this. See if you are going to come up with a formula for quadratic formula. That formula must be in this form. X is equals to minus b plus minus a root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. I want everyone to participate. You must take this, convert it into this. We are going to do it later, but I want you to see if you have come up with this formula. If you did not, it's still fine. You are still at grade 10. You are still at grade 10. You are not yet grade 11. You will be grade 11 after you have written your test after March. You pass, then that means that you qualify to be called a grade 11. No, nevertheless, you are grade 11, but you haven't got that expertise of grade 11 yet. That's why I'm taking you step by step, slowly. This is where we are heading. Right. Let's do the last example, then it will be all. I want to give you a complicated one now. The one with a negative a. If you are given the one with a negative a, it means that you have to deal with it first. How do we deal with it? I will show you as we go along. This is the last example 4. Negative x squared, negative 2x, negative 2. Complete your square. Before we do anything in completing of a square, you don't need a negative coefficient of x squared. You remember the previous one, we had a 2 in the term of x squared. We do what? We don't want to get x squared to be messed around. We don't want it to be a negative. We don't want it to be with a coefficient. We want it to be a plain x squared. How do we do with this? We divide by negative. Rather, let us not divide, because when we divide, we are taking it out. Let's put the negative aside. Putting the negative aside, we have x squared plus 2x plus 2. When you can take this negative here, you distribute it, it becomes that. We did not change anything. We just took a common factor. Right. Do not forget to like and subscribe. When you subscribe, you are going to get a notification that Uncle Pythagoras has posted a video for you to watch. These videos is for you to watch at your own liberty, at your own time. You are going to learn simple because you are sitting at your own space. Now we continue minus into, we do what we used to do, plus 2x. Take the coefficient of x, here is the coefficient of x, multiply it by half, then square it. What you do here, subtract it, cancel it, in other words, multiplied by half squared plus 2. Plus 2. Now, this bracket needs to be closed here because we have opened the bracket, which is equals to the negative into x squared plus 2x plus 2 multiplied by half is 1. 1 squared minus 1 squared plus 2, closing the bracket. Right? It's a negative into x squared. It's going to be x. I'm using a square bracket here because we are factorizing. The negative sign is there. So let me write it nicely so that everyone can see clearly. It's negative, here is our negative. Put a square bracket, then factorize here, which is going to be x plus 1 squared. It's 1 minus 1 plus 2 is 1 plus 1. Close your bracket. Now you can distribute your negative side inside, which is minus into x plus 1 squared minus 1. See, this is the end of the story. Right, next time we are going to do the completing of a square where we have to take a quadratic formula, we change it to, a quadratic equation, to change it into a quadratic formula to solving problems where we find out that the expression, the equation that we have given does not factorize, has got no factors, then we use that formula. Thank you very much, Uncle Pythagoras. Signing out. Do not forget to subscribe and like. Comment as well. Thank you.